go.
Sure. Yeah, change. Today we're going to cook on the grill. We're going to do us up some chicken thighs, and we'll be back in a little bit and show you the procedure for this. We'll get them seasoned up in a pan and out on the grill. All right, we're about ready to go. We're going to inject these with some Creole butter. We're going to put them in a bath of chicken stock. Then we've got all the usual seasonings here. We got some rosemary, garlic, onion powder, chachari, paprika, and some Canadian chicken seasoning. So we're going to get these injected up, plump them up. I think first thing we're going to do is pull the skin back because I want to get some seasoning up under the skin. To do that, you just kind of pull the skin back. It pulls back real easy. Tuck your finger up under there. You want to get it back far enough that we can get some seasoning on the actual meat itself. We're going to hold off on on seasoning the skin because we're going to cook these down in the bath at first. Try to cook some of that fat out of that skin so we can get a better bite on that. So. Pretty easy to do. Probably be about an hour and a half or so cook out on the grill. We'll set it up with the smoker plate. That way we're kind of cooking a little bit indirect. I debated on whether or not to scrape the fat off some of this skin. But then I got to thinking that most of us are lazy, don't want to do that much work. But you will get a real nice bite through skin if you take the time to scrape that fat off there. You just kind of flash freeze it. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes in the freezer. The skin will be almost frozen, and you take a spoon or something and just scrape the fat off until you can see through the skin. It'll be real translucent. Then you just put the skin, wrap it back up around your thighs. And pretty simple. I say pretty simple, but it's tedious as heck. Alright, so we got our skin all pulled off. I'm going to check a few of these and show you what we're doing. Just going to stick a needle in there. It doesn't take much. This is a fairly small piece of meat. And like I always say, you'll feel it pump up in your hand. It doesn't take a lot. You just get a little flavor in there and add a little bit more moisture to it. Pretty straightforward way of doing this. I'm hitting each one about 3 times. And this will make some really flavorful chicken. Okay, the last of it we're just going to take and drizzle a little bit on it. We'll save a little bit of it for the drizzle some on there. Just on everything. Alright, we'll be back in just a second. We'll get these seasoned up. Alright, we're ready to season these up. I'm going to do these just sprinkle some on here. That's the chargriller. And we'll do some onion. And like I said, you don't have to follow this exactly. That's the technique more than using exactly what I'm using. If there's things that you like that I'm not using, feel free. But I'm just going to do the chargriller and the onion powder on the under the skin. End up switching to a bigger pan. We'll see how this works out. Get ready to put them on. Our other seasonings are going to go on top of the skin, because we're going to spread this skin back over top of these. Up. We're going to put them skin side down at the beginning on the cook. Get the skin work back out here. Put them skin side down. We're going to cook them skin side down to start off the cook. So try to cook some of that fat out of the skin, so hopefully we won't end up with a rubber skin. Any of y'all out there that ever tried to smoke some chicken and you end up with a mouthful of rubber when you try to bite through the skin? It's like trying to chew on a bicycle tire inner tube. These on and probably leave them a half hour, 45 minutes with the skin side down. Then we'll pull them off, bring them back in here, and flip them over and season the top side. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands, and I'm going to put the seasoning on the bottom side, and then we'll be back. All right. Now you want probably enough chicken stock that probably about 1/4 inch or so in the bottom of the pan. You don't want them to cook dry out there on the grill, so we'll keep an eye on that as we check them. We may have to add more, but that's a good place to start right there. Then we're just going to put all our seasonings on. That was our onion powder and our chargriller that we put under the skin. Now this is rosemary garlic. Really good on poultry, really good on turkey. And this is our chicken seasoning. Give it a decent coat. And a little bit of paprika. Paprika, remember, is always for color on the grill or on the smoker. Okay, the only other thing we're going to do is cut up this butter and stick it around the side so it can melt down in. It'll add more moisture and flavor. So we'll do that, and we're ready to put it on the grill. We'll come back and show you us getting it on the grill. Alright, we're out here at the grill. I got this thing set up. I have the smoker plate at the bottom. I've got my charcoal grate at the lowest setting. We're running about 375 right now, a little hotter than what I want. But I'm going to put this chicken that's been sitting in the refrigerator in there, and it's going to knock my temperature down. Ideally, I want to stay around 325, and we're going to let this go about 30 minutes. I'm going to come out and check it because we're going to flip this and then try to brown the skin a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and put this on. I've also got applewood in there. That's the smoke that you're seeing. And here's our chicken. So we're just going to set this right on the top rack. I'm going to close her up. We'll be back in about 30 minutes. And we're going to look at this. Now, when I did this chimney, and I put paper in the bottom, I won't use lighter fluid, but I only filled it to about here with charcoal. With these ceramic cookers, you got to be real careful about how much fuel you put in them, and they'll last a long time, and when you shut them off, they shut off and you'll end up with charcoal in the bottom. And I save that, and then I add it back as I need it, and then I use a lot less charcoal this way. So we'll be back in 30 minutes and take a look at this. Alright, we're back out here. It's been just about 40 minutes. When I first put this in, it was 375, then opening it and then putting the meat in there out of the refrigerator. It dropped it and it held 350, and I had everything shut clear down because I want to be between 3 and 325. It finally dropped after about 20 minutes, and we're running right at 325. So fire management is a big part of cooking like this. And we're going to see what the temperature is on these. Alright, we're going to take these in and we're going to flip them. They're in the mid 150s. I want to flip them over, and I want to season the skin. I want to get them back out here. And we get these in the house, I'll be back. Alright, we're back in the house. We got our chicken in here, and I've been probing it. It's anywhere from 140 to 150. You know, it's dark meat, 165 on light meat. We can probably go a little bit hotter on this. But what I want to do, I want to pour some of this au jus, this juice, off into this grease separator here. Because I want to make some gravy out of that. Plus there's more liquid in the pan than really what I wanted. So if you don't have one of these are really good to get, and it'll separate out the grease. Comes in really handy on brisket and stuff. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to flip all these over one at a time. Maybe, if we can get them. And what we want to do, this is the skin side that we're bringing up, because if you remember right, we started with the skin side down, knocking the skin off. And we are going to re-season the top of these. Put them back out there on the cooker. Now, when I was talking a little bit about fire management earlier, I told you that the cooker was a little bit hotter than I really wanted it when I first put them in, but I knew the coolness of the stuff coming out of the fridge was going to bring it down, and it stayed about 350, and I had the bottom open up about the width of my little finger, and the top I had completely shut off, and that lasted about 20 minutes, and when it got down, it was coming under 350. I left the bottom where it was, and I started opening the top. You have to learn to, fire management, like I said, is a thing, and you have to learn your smoker, and it's not an overnight deal. But I kind of stayed out there and watched it, and you kind of got to watch and see which direction that the temperature's going, and then think 10 or 15 minutes ahead, if that makes sense. Because it takes it just a little while to react to what you do when you change it. Okay, on the top of these, if you remember right, we pulled the skin back, we put the chargriller and the onion powder on. So what we're going to do is just use the other three seasonings that we left off at the beginning on the top. And these things are probably within 25 or 30 minutes of being done. So this is our rosemary garlic. This is going to be our chicken seasoning here. It's Canadian chicken seasoning. You can use whatever you want. You'll notice that I don't use a lot of salt on this stuff because there's a lot of salt already in these other seasonings that are already kind of pre-mixed commercial seasonings. There's plenty of salt content and all of that. So you really don't need to add salt. And you won't see me adding salt very often. Okay, it's almost pretty enough to eat now. We're going to put these back out on the cooker. And like I said, another 25 or 30 minutes. Probably going to make up some mashed potatoes and some gravy with the drippings there I just poured off in the separator. So we'll be back when it's done. Alright, we're back in here. It's been about another half hour or so. We're in the mid 170s, and if you can see, you see that skin's poking through, we're going to have some definite bite through skin. Now the last thing I want to do, and I drained a lot more of this liquid off, I'll show you right here in the grease separator. And this is why they call it a grease separator. See the grease? And this is the good stuff. And it pours out of the bottom. So you can find those online. Definitely a good purchase. Now, this is a barbecue sauce that I like. We're just going to put some on here. So this chicken is, it's done. You know, mid 170s, that's where you want to be. So what we're going to do now, we're going to sauce these. And I'm going to put them back out there on the grill, which is still running 325. Remember what I said, fire management. You got to watch it. It's going to take you a little while to learn your cooker. It's going to take a little while to season your cooker. Now, one thing you don't want to do on chicken is don't ever use a water pan, because it will make your skin like rubber. So everything's good here. I'm going to stick these back on for about another 10 minutes and we'll be back. And we're going to take a bite. Alright, chicken's done, the sauce is set. We're going to take a bite of this, see how the skin's doing. Grab a piece here. Man, that's hot. Let's see if we got bite through skin or not. Maybe. Yeah, and it's hot. Way hot. But definitely good. Till next time, eat it!